I-70 between 470 and Genesee was closed for hours today for a crash that killed one person and sent another driver to the hospital. Happened around 9:30 this morning. A car slammed into a tanker truck that was pulled over on the shoulder.
9 News reporter Ria Jaws live along I-70 in Golden tonight. Finally back open, Ria, in both directions after closed for hours.
Right, it's back open after being closed for 9 hours earlier today, and during which there were more than a dozen agencies here managing traffic, putting out the fire, and dealing with a massive fuel spill all over the road.
The original call came in about 9:30. 3 fire agencies and Colorado State Patrol arrived on scene to the 2-vehicle accident. Heavy flames showing, a lot of thick black smoke.
A deadly crash on I-70 shut down the highway for hours. A car slammed into the back of a tanker truck, causing a fire and 9,000 gallons of diesel fuel to spill.
With the fuel spill, so it was a complex incident for sure.
15 different agencies responded, including the EPA and various hazmat units. They worked quickly to keep the fuel out of nearby waterways. The city of Lakewood was concerned about Bear Creek Lake Park.
It was just that the park was alerted to the fact that diesel fuel had spilled, and it appeared to be reaching basically a tributary that would carry water eventually into the park. So there was very quick action to alert the folks downstream.
On scene, crews put out containment booms on either side of the highway to absorb the fuel, and a front-end loader on one side to catch the rest.
To put those same kind of booms out very quickly and potentially contained a lot of the diesel fuel up west of the park so it didn't flow down.
The spill could have been detrimental to Bear Creek Lake.
That's why we took precautionary measures, because it's a park that's used by many visitors, and there's a large reservoir in there in which a lot of activities occur.
The EPA tested the water all the way down to Bear Creek Lake and reported no diesel.
And it's great that it's turned out the way it is.
Before clearing the tanker truck away. Crews spent more than an hour putting out the fire earlier today, and then as part of cleanup, hazmat units pumped out 8,000 gallons of fuel from that tanker before hauling it away around 6 p.m. and clearing the scene. Reporting live in Golden, Ria Jaw, 9 News.
And that crash, which again shut I-70 down for hours, also backed up traffic on other roads in the area. Really tough for people trying to get to Red Rocks today, where schools like Columbine High School had graduation plans. Some students were worried the traffic could make them miss their big day.
I was like, okay, hopefully I'll make it in time. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I'm okay and I got here safe.
Columbine ended up pushing back their ceremony about 15 minutes because among all the folks stuck in traffic, the band got stuck in traffic. Red Rocks also hosted Dakota Ridge's ceremony tonight at 7.
Another crash involving a semi-truck shut down a busy road in Adams County today, and all 7 vehicles were involved. It happened just before noon at 104th and Highway 85. Commerce City Police originally said it was a hit and run. They later corrected that to say they believe all the drivers stayed at the scene. 3 people went to the hospital. Police have not specified how badly they were hurt. Highway 85 was shut down both directions for hours. It's back open now. And this happened on Lookout Mountain Road this afternoon. The sheriff's office says a semi got stuck on a tight turn and took out a guardrail. They say it might have been somebody trying to avoid the I-70 closure and ended up on a road not meant for semis.
Warmer temperatures have finally returned, at least for a few days. We can expect more beautiful weather as we head into the weekend with 70s, even 80s. Kathy, forecast tomorrow through Sunday.
I know. I'm so happy to be able to report that after last weekend with the snow, the hail, the sleet, the cold weather, and the rain. We are headed into a very summer-like weekend. Tonight, there are a few isolated showers to the south that we're still tracking on radar, but overall, a general warming and drying trend heading into the weekend. And thunderstorms do return in the extended forecast, and we'll have the timing on that. Temperatures coming down out of the mid-70s into the mid-50s this hour, some 60s in eastern Colorado. Winds are starting to increase a bit out of the south, and that will help to push those temperatures up above the average of 71. We remain in between 2 storms, and this week front will be something we'll be talking about for Saturday. As I mentioned, there's not much to show you on the radar. Severe weather threat is well south of the forecast area for tonight, and for tomorrow we'll shift further north. The temperature trend tonight will be very comfortable with the southerly winds, and tomorrow just a few high clouds coming in. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll detail the weekend forecast and just how warm we'll get, and that's in just a bit.
Tonight, we have learned that search crews recovered the body of Lucas Mackay on Longs Peak. A spokesperson for Rocky Mountain National Park says their initial investigations show he took a significant fall on that climb. Mackay had last been heard from Sunday after summiting Longs Peak before big storms moved through the high elevations in the park later that day. Mackay was 23 years old.
This morning, an employee at Aurora Ski Resort was killed when a tree fell on him. The Boulder County Sheriff's Office says the man was performing off-season trail maintenance this morning. Ski Patrol began CPR and called a Flight for Life helicopter, but the man died before it arrived. As of tonight, it's not clear what caused that tree to fall. A man says that he feared for his life at the moment when he shot and killed two brothers along I-25 last June.
9 News reporter Rachel Krause joins us now. Rachel, Stefan Long was initially charged with murder in this case.
Yeah, he was arrested moments after the shooting and later charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Then the DA dropped one of those charges. Now advocates want her to drop the other.
What do we want? Justice! And when do we want it? Now!
Clinging to signs and photos, this small crowd has a single goal.
Justice for who?
Stefan Long!
I want to thank everyone for coming out here today in front of the Denver District Attorney's Office.
Denver Justice Project founder Alexander Landau is surrounded by family and supporters of Stefan Long, including his mom.
My son didn't do anything wrong. We just want justice.
It's been nearly a year since Stefan shot and killed 2 men on I-25.
This was a vicious attack on his life. And he defended himself.
According to court records, Stefan told investigators the 2 men, Damon and Blake Lucas, pulled up next to him on the highway, yelled at him, then attacked him. Stefan told 9 News he was scared and couldn't get away. So he shot the men and kept driving.
Immediately after, Stefan Long was forced into a position of self-defense, which took the lives of 2 other community members. He was immediately and aggressively charged with 2 counts of first-degree capital murder.
For months, Stefan's family and community leaders have been pushing for those murder charges to be dropped. After public pressure, Denver DA Beth McCann dropped 1 murder charge without explaining why. Community leaders are calling for the second charge to drop too.
So we ask Beth McCann to be on the right side of justice in this clear-cut case and dismiss this final charge against Stefan Long.
By their side sit 500 letters written by Stefan's friends, community members, state representatives, all asking for one thing.
Drop the last charge, do the right thing. Beth McCann, do the right thing.
The past 11 months, what happened that day on the interstate has haunted Stephanie's family.
What we would like to do is pause to take these letters up to Beth McCann's office.
As her son's supporters head up to the DA's office, armed only with those letters, Stephanie won't give up hope that this charge and this nightmare could soon go away.
We'll just continue to pray. We're in this for the long haul. We're never going to give up, ever.
Stefan Long will be in court tomorrow morning for a hearing. His family and community advocates say this is the time for the DA to dismiss that last charge. I reached out to the DA's office about this case. They tell me they don't comment on any active cases. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Closing arguments are set for tomorrow morning in the case of a man who shot and killed an assistant fire chief who was driving near a street race on I-70. Today, Jeremy Rocha testified that he believed he was acting in self-defense when he shot his gun 9 times in June of 2022. Rocha was street racing with friends when he said John Jaros hit a Camaro in the race, then pulled up to Rocha's car. Rocha claims that Jaros was holding a gun. So he says he pulled his own gun and started firing. Jaros was hit in the head and died. Rocha was arrested and charged days later.
A guilty verdict today for the man charged with murdering 4 people at a home in Aurora back in 2022. Some of the victims in this case had just filed protection orders against him days before the shooting. Joseph Castorena shot and killed 3 of his ex-girlfriend's family members, plus another man who lived on that property. They say he tried to kill his ex too, but she got away. Authorities then found Castorena in Mexico months after that shooting. Today, a jury found him guilty on 4 counts of murder, 1 for each victim, plus a charge of attempted murder. He'll be sentenced in September. Each of these murder convictions carries a mandatory sentence of life in prison. Castorena's brother and cousin pled guilty this year to helping him escape. Auraria campus officials say most of the people arrested at protests over the past month are not affiliated with that campus. In a briefing today, officials said 80 people in total have been arrested or detained since April 25th. And of those 80, 16 are students, 3 are faculty or staff. Auraria says the rest are not affiliated with any of the schools on campus. Campus officials have calculated the encampment cost the campus nearly $300,000 between cleanup efforts, revenue loss from canceled events, maintenance on the Tivoli Quad, and loss of parking revenue.